right composition of food. So you're going to start behaving differently. You're now the teacher and you are examining the food that you're going to eat. So developing the eyesight and the reflex for breaking down your new mindset. Now the requirements for you to grade a food in a positive way or giving it a high score will actually be uh, will be the different parameters of fat loss bingo, the different things that cognitive behavioral therapy has proven to actually make somebody that eats lose weight. So like portion control, like stimulus control, you're gonna be choosing things like that. If you see a fruit in your bowl of, you're gonna grade it, and this food is your goal. Basically, remember we said when you arrive to your home, you need to get rid of that bowl of of chocolate or chips that's right there when you come in through the garage, and then all you see around you in front of you and your home welcoming you is a bunch of junk food. That needs to you need to get rid of that. You need to put that into the somewhere hidden, if not get rid of it completely. And then you need to have a bowl there that you do it for visual stimulus control on your home, and you're going to put a green dot on it, because every time that you take a fruit from that cup, from that bowl, which is a place where you can keep fruits, and you see that green dot, it's basically something positive that you've done. And you're not eating for the purpose of seeing that green dot, but it will become something unconscious. It will be basically a message to your unconscious mind that says, hey, I'm doing the right thing. And this is basically how you start programming yourself. So now, from when every food becomes that food. So eat with your hands, pick with your brain, transform through fat loss bingo method. So eat with your hands and pick with your brain. What does that mean? Basically, eat with your hands means choose portion control the foods. Remember when we mentioned when you go to the groceries, you can have celeries, the tiny cut pieces of celery, or the tiny pieces of carrots, or you can buy the large carrot. When you're gonna serve yourself, when you're gonna choose, since I think we live in a society of convenience. We like convenience. We enjoy it. You're gonna go for the snack that already has it cut into small pieces. Why? I think there's this like breadstick snack that comes with cheese. I don't remember its name, but that and it's like cheese whiz cheese. With small breadsticks that you dip them in and then you eat them. Well, that type is an example of what portion control is like. It's not an excellent choice of food in terms of calories, and it has no protein, has no fibers, just wheat basically, or refined calories. So what you want to have is basically things that you can pick, like grape, okay, a blueberry. These are things that they're excellent for snacks because they're small, and I mean, you could put potentially like 5, 4, 6 in your hand and then eat them. But an example would be strawberries. Strawberries is on the higher, it's on a bigger size for a fruit, or like an apple. An apple you have to go and you have to eat in many slices. But if you buy an apple that's already cut, well, it's good as well, because you're gonna have to eat it, and it's gonna take you time. You won't be able to just feed yourself and go at a rate fast. They're basically already limited in time of consumption to you. That's how you use the portion control part. Now, make all things fit according to what you learn, so that the right food at the right time, like at war, don't get caught unprepared. Hunger is overall your enemy. In today's video, the main part, the main message at the end is that there is a method of recognizing hunger for you. And this method of recognizing hunger will tell you basically when to eat, when's the right time to eat, so that you start dosing your food almost like a medication. Okay? So you don't wait till you're starving to eat. You actually eat when you're starting to feel that your energy is starting to change. Then you go have what you like, what you enjoy, and then you pick the snack. But then you have to pick, make all things fit. you need to choose the right snack. So you're gonna choose portion control. If you wait till you're starving, your mind is gonna start going like, okay, let's hit the McDonald's, let's make it with fries, let's make it with poutine, let's get a soft drink. This is how your mind is thinking, because it's gotten used to actually just partly doing what it likes, but it's like you didn't listen to the message that came before. The message that came before is the change in your feeling and in regards to food. So as you have heard, people that, you know, there a lot of people that don't pick up much weight, they actually eat a lot of times in a day. They will eat 5 to 6 times. And then some people that get a lot of weight, they will eat one time, or they will eat twice, but they will eat very large portion meals, and they're actually gonna eat in a way that they're starving. So the brain doesn't really react the same way. If you're always well fed, meaning that you're having snacks which just give you enough calories, not enough for you to starve, but not too much to basically fatten you out, your brain doesn't reach into, doesn't develop so much the messages which come from the hypothalamus, from the second order neurons, who basically control how you feel about food. They basically control your entire system, you know, your hunger, your aggressivity, your hunting behavior. Alright, so food which can be eaten with your hand. I think this is just a highly convenient thing. Then again, get rid of breads, get rid of all these things, and buy small portions. This is what used to happen to me, and I'm giving this example from a personal standpoint. I would buy fruits, and I just wouldn't eat them. So you have to first choose stuff. You have to get to know yourself. If you don't know yourself, you're not going to be able to buy the food which represents who you are in reality. And this is perhaps the biggest challenge that people are getting to, because you will go to a weight loss center and a weight loss diet place, and they will tell you what to eat, but they can't really choose for you. And this is what a lot of these places are lacking. And it's that the individual needs to develop their own diet. If you don't develop your own diet, it's not going to last, because you are missing in the remedy, and you need to be part of the solution. So part of the solution means you need to learn how to make your own diet. So continuing here, cut in small pieces, time and effort. This may take time and effort, or you can buy it already. Like I said, use portion control. For example, this would be a place where if you want to know how many carrots, how many celeries you can have, fill this up. It's a small cup. It's about, I think, it's probably about 8 ounces. So you can put in a lot of celery, a lot of carrots in there. You can put blueberries, strawberries, cut pieces of apple, you know, apple slices, and this will be a portion. So this is a way that you can go around. It works quite well if you do it. Portion plates. Excuse me. Portion plates is definitely a method to go. So food you like without judgment. So food you like without judgment is basically food you like, but you don't feel ambiguous about. You know, oh, it's meat, but oh, I don't like to eat meat because no, but I actually do enjoy eating meat, but I'm vegetarian, or this, I like this, but it has too much salt. I can't eat potatoes. Okay, there's so much information surrounding those foods, so many prejudices, so many ideas, that it's okay for you to choose them, but because you like them. But if you can do it without judgment, then do it without judgment. But if it has too much judgment involved to it, just let it go. I mean, plan those for after, when you have your free time, to basically those times, those moments that you can eat whatever you want, like a food holiday. Then you can do that. Now, food you believe in. I think this is, to me, it's the most important thing, because you only find food you believe in when you get to know yourself. What does that mean? I would say take one time, go through a groceries, and don't go with the purpose of finding what you want or having something in mind. Go in the sense of making a list. Take a piece of paper. It's like it's homework time. It's not shopping time. Go to the grocery stores. Like here we have IGA in south of Montreal. So let's say you go to IGA and you start walking around, you know, and Basically, you see, you go through the vegetable section and go through the fruit section and then start looking through the ad. Remember, you are the examiner. What here is easy for me to transform into portion plates and to do portion control, food that I like, that I feel is good for me, even if I don't enjoy eating it so much. Okay, so when you go there, take a piece of paper, and write down a list. You can make 5, 6 easily. Most of the grocery stores today have so much choice that you can get lost in all the stuff you buy. And then you go for 1 week. We're gonna get the number 1, and then you can do a mixture of number 1, number 2, and this is how you're gonna have food you believe in, because you go there, you're not planning on buying food. This is actually homework. You go there and you examine the food, and you're saying, well, this I believe in. For example, I think vegetables in general are good for me, but I just don't take my time to make stuff with it, or to create myself a diet which has them. But with this homework, I create a system of basically presenting those nutrients to me, and the quality of the food, it's absolutely superior to going through trying to buy something, end up buying 10 different things which I don't need, but that taste good, that I enjoy eating, but that are bad for me in the long run. So something that is bad for you in the long run is technically something that it is a very, very subtle. It's like a plus plus and then a minus. So you think, and we feel, biologically we feel, well, I like it, it tastes good, but your body in the long run pays the consequences, and your health in the future is basically a reflection of those decisions that you took in the past. So if you eat something that's so rich that your body can't really use all of it, then probably it's not something that you really, really, really like, because, and you know it in the back of your head, but you don't choose that because the second order neurons are saying hunt, pray for food, be aggressive. So your whole think of tomorrow doesn't really take place, and it has no place, because in a sense you're living in the now. So, but you have to be cognizant of the messages that your body's telling you, because there is a right moment to eat, wherein it's like trying to get water during a drought. It's better to prevent the drought. If you cannot prevent the drought, it's better to have some reserve of water, or some method of getting water to you when, in case of something like that happening, rather than trying to figure things out when everything is in chaos. And that's pretty much what resembles the average person's situation. So food for the sake of eating in a good schedule. The schedule is dictated by you and your body. You need to recognize the messages that your body is telling you. There are clear messages that your body will tell you as to, it's not I am hungry, your body doesn't speak like that. But the changes in energy, when you start knowing yourself, well, you're like, oh, I'm probably not operating on the same level, or I'm starting to feel maybe a little bit tired. Perfect, eat. So this is something that you need to develop. It's a skill. You need, and then you eat food you believe in, food you like without judgment, and it's easy, because in a sense you're not starving and you're not struggling to fight things out of your mind, like, oh, I don't want to eat chocolate, but I do. But this is the type of stuff you have to avoid, because it's basically eating with no peace in mind, and then consequently you cannot eat what you really need. And what you need is basically food you can eat with your hands, cut in small chunks or in small portions, food that you like without judgment, food you believe in, and at that time you eat because it's the right moment to eat. So we're going to eat our way to the right weight, and not reach the right weight by eating with a negative concept, in the sense that I'm gonna lose weight by caloric deficit. You actually will get your caloric deficit, but you're gonna do it by eating right, and that's what I'm trying to put the emphasis here on. So structure is about the right timing. Find the approximate time you feel hungry and mark it down. Have meal replacement and snacks roughly 200 calories each for when that happens. For snacks, snack attacks, it's like Mars attack. No pun intended with the chocolate bar called Mars. For snacks, attack with meals you believe in, and keep it keep what you like for big amounts like lunch or dinner. This is just I mean, something for you to appreciate. But you know, for snacks, if remember we had a let me bring it back because it's if you didn't watch the other video, this may be a little bit more complicated, but there is a tentative schedule, which is this presentation here. For this is a low-calorie diet. You get meal replacement for breakfast. You can have a bar, you can have a shake, and then you have a snack. You can have a cup of fruits, portion control of anything really, or you can do celery, cucumber. You can do anything, and then you can have a meal replacement for lunch, meal replacement snack. And eventually, this will make 1,500 calories in a day. So what I'm saying is that the stuff you really like, you know, keep it for the end of the day. But ideally, you will actually choose every moment of the day. When you actually knock on the door of the perfect choice, you actually chose the food that is you, and you will know it, that even your mind will not be able to get you out of sync with what you are doing. In fact, you will go something from like choosing 1 time out of 10 the right food, and then it's going to be 2 times out of 10, and then, you know, eventually it's going to go 6, 7, and 8, and then eventually you're just going to be so into your diet out of your own liking, because this diet is the right diet for you. It's food you believe in, and it's perfectly timed up so that you never feel hungry or starving. And then you even have choice. You even have the choice to do bigger meals. You will actually not even want to do a bigger meal because you're already eating stuff that you like, and it's turning out to be, you know, fantastic. So that's what I want you to develop. That is what really will work and hold on to the best results. So that's why you are the examiner. You're the one that looks at things. You're basically evaluating the foods like you had a student writing down an exam in front of you. And then, okay, so dietary structure is actually felt. This is something that you need to feel. So you eat, then biochemically food leaves your thoughts. You know, when you're satiated, basically you stop thinking about food all the time. Then eventually you crave again, and so have a choice. Have a cup of grapes with cheese, cup of celery with carrots, with ranch sauce or any hummus sauce, that any dip you want to like, that you like to choose. A cup of apples with caramel, if you want. Then have a little bit of caramel, then throw the rest if you don't want it. So be generous with yourself and choose what you feel like having. If you're into cucumbers, your thing is cucumbers, then make it a cucumber and ranch sauce. Okay, make the ammo fit your gun, which is your mind, your liking, your personality, who you are, what you enjoy. Eat what you like. If you don't, then it doesn't really matter, because your mind's going to make you eat what you like. So it's just that it will not be your own choosing. It will be just following an instinct, rather than not having to rely on your instincts and just living a life that is, you know, cognizant enough of who you really are. And you do that by actually writing down. You need to do the stimulus control. When I'm telling you, folks, you need to play fat loss bingo, what I mean is you need to do these. Folks, the word fat loss bingo, I'm not trying to trademark something. It's actually what studies have shown in the cognitive behavioral therapy studies, that some behaviors promote for weight loss. So I just called it fat loss bingo, and it's just that. I'm trying to, all these tricks that you're seeing, that I'm mentioning, portion control, meal replacement, all that has been studied in obesity medicine, and it works. That's why I'm actually choosing them to present it to you through these presentations. So steadiness over time is what guarantees result. What is steadiness? Steadiness is you feel happy with your diet, you have your food at home, you go to your food at home, you eat, you're satisfied, food doesn't bother your thoughts. When food is not in your thoughts, then you can say, well, I'm actually bingo. This is bingo. You actually you scored. So steadiness is over time is what's actually going to reduce. So it's when you make every decision for think portion control. If you choose cucumber, what is better? Small pieces of cucumber, or just one long cucumber. No, choose the small pieces because they take time. So when you buy things, buy conveniently. You can buy things that are already cut for you if that's what if you're like me. In fact, I go to the grocery stores and I buy the carrots and the celery already cut in pieces, and then I can actually keep it in the same bowl, and that would be a mistake because knowing that portion control, yeah, I should have like 10 plates, 10 of these cups in my home, and I could fill it up with celery and cucumbers, and that would basically be a portion controlled snack or meal replacement. That's actually how you have to behave. You have to take it even a next step. So because this is like a science, if you understand the things that make us fail, then you need to create a structure, a strategy, which is based on what you believe. But there's nothing better for you to believe than the actual science, which is reproducible and which has some proof related to basically things that are based on the truth and how things work. So cognitive behavioral therapy is one of those things. It's not a medication, and it will get you to your goal. So I think anybody that diets has to spend a significant amount of time studying the cognitive behavioral subjects which relate. You need to understand how meal replacement works, and you need to basically create a schedule for your own eating. I think that's an absolute must for anybody that's dieting or trying to diet. So let's continue here. Dietary structure is not about a diet, it's about timing. Okay, so basically what we're breaking down what happens when an individual eats. So you eat, so there's a pause in time. It can last 4 hours, 6 hours, 8 hours, 10 hours, and then you eat again, and then there's another pause. 6 hours, 8 hours, 10 hours may pass, and then you eat again, and so on and so forth. So what you have to understand is that you're eating, you're eating a little, okay? Then your pause needs to be little before you eat again. If you eat a lot, you basically have a big pause, but that means that the next time you eat, you're actually gonna have to eat a lot, because these pauses and these episodes of eating are interlinked one with the next. So it's better that you eat little all the time, that you eat large, you pause for a long time, you eat large again, you pause for a long time, and you eat large again. And this is where most of us are actually lost in the between of. When you choose the perfect foods for you and you eat because it's the right time to eat, and the right timing is not about physical time, it's about your body's message. And folks, you develop this. This is not something that, this is not something that in today's world, at least, children are taught that, hey, you're not hungry, you gotta eat anyways. You're actually satisfied. No, you gotta finish your plate. So that also needs to change, but that's not gonna change anytime soon. So the way people are raised is the way our society is built. And you have to then become cognizant about who you are in reality, and you have to force yourself to follow your own cues, your own body. If you follow your own body, you will get to the results that you want, because your body is made for perfection. Your body is not made to backstab you, okay? Or to basically work in a way that you don't want. Besides, who's better to tell you when to eat than your body? So alright, so at post number 1, sometime around it, the food thought arises for something. The best moment to eat is when you're able to detect when your energy levels are going to be low later on, because it is early hunger. So this goes back to a theory that I mentioned in another, folks, it's not really a theory, it's just an observation of how we behave. And it's like today you need to have a study to tell people that if you jump in water, you're gonna get wet, because if not, it's not based on science. Come on, common sense is the first science that exists. So just listen to what I'm saying and see if it's true. If you feel it's true, then do it and apply it in that way. I will tell you, this works. A lot of what we know in cognitive behavioral therapy and what's been discussed and studied and found out to cause people to lose weight There's no science behind it. It's just an observation. We notice when we do this, this works. But what is the theory behind it? We don't know that, okay? So we can't explain it. We just know that it works that way. How do we know that portion plates work? We actually don't know what happens in the brain that causes it to work, but it does work. You know, why when you have a small plate rather than a huge plate and then a tiny amount of food, why are you more likely to eat then? We don't know that, okay? And why if you have a small plate and then you have the same amount of food, you're more likely to just feel satiated before? We know it's in the brain, but how is it? We don't know. So this is when you have to start using what I would recommend this theory to your own advantage. So this early hunger, there's basically, I mentioned there's two types of hungers. There's the early hunger wherein you don't have an idea of I want to eat. You know, you always have to be on the lookout to what your body's messaging to you. What is the world outside of you cannot be a labyrinth that you can lose yourself in it and then forget your biological cues, which are absolutely paramount. I mean, absolutely important in your daily life and decisions. So I mentioned there's this early hunger period, energy levels start feeling. I think the best way you can feel early hunger that I'm referring to is when you have a stressful or a job that's demanding and you didn't eat last night. I've had this happen to me multiple times, and in the morning I don't eat breakfast, and I may start, you know, okay, and then eventually something happens. I don't feel the same, okay? I am not hungry. I don't feel the same. But it's that I don't feel the same that's related to basically you didn't eat for 8 to 10 hours and then you're starting to work without eating breakfast. Your brain is consuming all this glucose and then the rest of your body's saying, well, maybe we should starve because the brain's really the one that needs to operate this whole thing. But that is the early hunger phase. Then there's the late hunger. The late hunger is whenever you get a thought that comes to your head about, oh, let me eat or something like that. That is what I call delayed hunger. So delayed hunger is a thought for a particular food, and there is early hunger, what is felt as an energy down, and the presage of that energy will go down if you don't eat soon. That is early hunger. So it is thus a thought, but a milder than a straight idea for something. So instead of thinking chips is I don't feel too good, okay? So when early hunger comes in, choose a snack right away. If you don't develop the delayed hunger, which then starts picturing things in particular food sorts, you know, like if you don't have a balanced diet, for example, folks, then you're gonna have to your body's gonna start craving, you know, when you're thirsty and you start craving for salty things because salt and water kind of stick together. So your body will, I suppose the mind is intelligent in the way that it describes things for you, because there is a science to it that, I mean, we have actually started to understand, but your brain is creating, basically every time you eat, your brain has like a lexicon of things that you ate, and then whenever, you know, everything creates a positive reinforcement. If your body needed fatty acids or fat and you ate meat, when then in the future your body's is gonna think, well, maybe we starved. Why did we starve? I mean, okay, let's crave for something that has a lot of fat in it, and then that's how an idea will then. I mean, you don't do this consciously, of course, but you perceive the final endpoint. You know, you're like at the end of the TV watching the show, which is your mind. Rather than the TV cables and all this stuff coming down from Hollywood or whatever the movie's being broadcasted from. So you will eat like those who eat 5 to 6 times daily, but the content of what you eat will be more in your control because you're not waiting till the struggle. Okay, the struggle is when thoughts start coming in your head. That is the struggle period. So this is when you're starting to have. So the idea behind. And so recognizing the early phase is that this is when you should have high protein foods like meal replacement bars, protein shakes, and because they, the fact that they have a lot of protein in it makes it such, and it's easier to understand in this slide right here. If you are in the early hunger phase and you take stuff that is high in protein, like milkshake. You remember the milkshake bottle that I showed you guys yesterday had 46 grams of protein or 42 grams of protein. So I mean, that's going to take quite some time. If you're not full, that's going to get you full, or it's going to get you at least satiated. To be honest with you folks, when I'm not that hungry and I don't actually finish the bottle because I can't. I actually feel full before, and then it keeps me satiated for a long time. So this is how, from the early hunger phase, it would push me all the way more towards the satiated, or in this region here, the satiated, and even it can make you feel full. So that's why you want to eat here. You want to have the high protein foods because they take longer to digest. Your body needs to break them down. It takes far more time, and then if you would actually eat a snack. So if you're gonna choose, if you're gonna replace dinner, or you're gonna replace a lunch, you need to have a high protein meal, definitely, because you're expecting that the next time you eat is in a long time. So you want to have stuff that's going to keep you full for a longer period of time. It's also important to know that when you're actually losing weight, your body's, and you're not eating, for example, when you're in a ketosis diet, like ketogenic diet, like the Atkins diet, or any time that you have less than 50 grams of carbs a day. So what happens is that you lose about, the energy that's been taken down. It's 25% of which will be your own protein. So if you're taking a high protein shake or a high protein like meal replacement bar that has a lot of protein, your body's going to destroy less of your muscle. Hey, excellent. So, and you're still going to get fed, and you're still going to have, you're going to lose weight, because 75% of what your daily intake, your daily basically caloric usage will come from fat, 75%, but 25% will come from your muscle. If you have the amino acids from the diet, from eating meal replacement bars that are high in protein, or milkshakes that are high in protein, all the much better things will go the way you want it, meaning you will lose the fat and you will preserve muscle mass. So feeling thought that you will go hungry takes place in early hunger. I should eat this or that is an idea. As an idea is because you're already in the late hunger. It means you missed an opportunity to eat the right thing because now you're craving. So, I mean, you can still eat the right thing when you're craving, but it tends to work on for frustration. I'm not saying that every time you crave something you should go to it either. Okay, you need to make a fine distinction about recognizing, it's like when you don't win the lottery, should you then go and try to win it again because you missed your chance? You don't have more chances of winning because you lost the last time. In fact, next time there will be a draw. Your chances are just as meek, or as tiny. So this is what you have to understand. The fact that you missed an opportunity doesn't make it better, a better moment later for eating and doing the right thing. You should still do the right thing. You should always do the right thing. So snacks bring you from early hunger to satiated. Early hunger to satiated. That's a snack. Whereas a full meal or a healthy meal, let's say it's 400. Let's say you eat some salmon, okay, some salmon and some vegetables, about 450 calories. They can get you from, remember, you're not supposed to eat when you have the late hunger. You're supposed to eat when you have early hunger. It can bring you from here to full, okay? And then when you go from all you can eat type of behavior, that brings you from the late hunger to full, this is when you're actually binging, okay? So anything that's more, and this is a new definition for binging, to be honest with you, which basically means anytime you eat more than 450 calories, then technically you should be feeling full, okay? All right, so it is best to eat a healthy snack under your control, meaning an early hunger or an initiative free of hunger. So basically, eating low-calorie meals while not craving. So it's better to eat when you're not starving. And the comparison of this is when you're going to the mall. Okay, folks, you've seen what happens when you go to the mall and you're starving. Everything, you need to buy everything that's in there. So that's the problem. When you do the right action at the wrong moment is not because you're doing the right action. It's not because you're not doing the right action. It's because you're trying to do the right action, but now the situation has really gone to crap. So it may be just not enough, and that's what happens. Then you go there, because now you're going to listen to the message that comes from the brain. It's no longer I'm feeling tired. Now it's like, yo, man, we got to eat something. And then you end up buying all this stuff. I'm going to buy this. And then it ends up rotting in your fridge, because once you're full, you never really go back to that state of, anxiety-driven, hormonal-driven hunger that causes you to go on a shopping spree buying food. So it's better to eat a healthy snack under your control when you are free of hunger, okay? Free of hunger meaning you're not in that chaotic state of trying to figure out things, and meaning trying to have the perfect meal. You have already prepared for it. So then to force a healthy snack under your control, so fighting against your own emotions and cravings. I tend to be of the type of, that to basically, if you really want to eat something, folks, I mean, I don't see why you shouldn't. I mean, you probably should eat it, but you should also do the right action when you're in the early hunger phase. So eating effortlessly comes when you are a careful listener and when you eat at the right time. If you're craving, usually you're craving for very rich meals or foods, and it's because you don't see the small boat. You only notice the cruiser. So unfortunately, that's what happens to a lot of people in cruisers. You go there and you start eating like mad. So one last thing here was food I believe in. So write down 3 main foods you believe in to be the richest, most nutritive, better tasting foods are the richest, bestest, greatest, absolutely delicious. 3 main foods. This is like some out of your homework, folks. Now note that even those 3 foods you can get tired of, you binge eat on them, like the expression ad nauseum. And one of the cool things that we have here at my clinic, and we can sell this to you, send it over to your home for you to do genetic testing, is with this company. We can actually have a diet that's based on your DNA. So if you want to know more about it, reach out to us through Facebook, reach out to us through YouTube, whichever way you can send us a message. But I had this done for myself. I know now what foods are genetically best for me, because I have my genes, make it so that I may have some deficiency in some vitamins, for example, and then they tell me, they basically make a menu for me. So this is something that you might want to consider if you want to make the perfect snack. Then the perfect snack comes from having the perfect knowledge of who you are, like I said. But you don't need to do it with this genetic test. I think most important, you need to review the beliefs that you have regards to food, and then see which things are appealing to you, which things you enjoy eating, and then when you have the triangulation of, I like this food, I enjoy eating it, it's a good food, but I just never really took the time to prepare a snack, that's when you need to start working. That's when you use your energy, because they don't intersect. You need to make that last push that intersects all 3 corners of the triangle, and then everything eventually, when you continue that after a long time, boom, a triangle is made. And basically that's what you need to do. You need to choose the foods you believe in. That is the foremost thing. So you need to go to the grocery store, and you need to walk through it. Your goal is not to is not to purchase. It's to actually go through the vegetable section and make a list of things that you like. Things that you like, meaning you need to choose foods that have been tasty to you, that you enjoy, but also foods that you believe in, things that you know are healthy for sure. This is a, you know, is this a superfood? Is this a rich nutrient that you need? I mean, you have to be very selective. So take your time, just like you go when you're extremely hungry to go buy your food. You should actually do your groceries with the cognitive knowledge. You need to have the knowledge of who you are, and you do it by actually going through the aisles and seeing, well, and kind of grading the foods. You write them all down and then you give them a grade. With this one I give it a 3, this one I give it a 4, this one is I give it a 5 because I absolutely love it and I think I could eat it every day. That's how you actually know who you are. It's by doing that type of homework. That's called the exam. So remember, once you have nailed down, you're saying, I like blueberries, I like grapes, and I like cheese. So of course that's not a fruit, but then you have to take it to the next level, which means portion control. Boom, everything intersects at that same point. But you need to continue to push it, you know, till everything fits into a triangle. So then you need to create portion plates. This is the exam. What you're doing right now is the exam. So you're trying to see how these foods would fit into your weight loss program. And your weight loss program takes into consideration all these things. And then when you have it like that, hey, I think, you know, the fight is definitely going the way that we planned it. And this is actually how eventually you will lose weight permanently, because you have the support of your new life. Your new life is basically the right decisions. It's the right eating. It's the right mindset. It's things based on who you are. So nobody can tell you that you're doing the wrong thing, because by all means, you're having the ideal diet for the best you to come. And eventually, the weight will go off. You will feel naturally better. You'll be satisfied with your food. You will feel good about how you eat. And hey, come on, that's the winning situation. All right, so I wish you all very much the best. Remember, actually, let's just do the spin the wheel another time. Let's see what happens now. Okay, so you still have to play Fat Loss Bingo, ladies and gentlemen. So that means like this video, share it, subscribe it, you know, put it on Facebook, leave us a nice comment, and give us, you know, I've basically made another video regarding meal replacement options. Remember, we mentioned this one, 42 grams of protein. We mentioned meal replacement bars. We mentioned pieces of meat. We mentioned celery and carrots. You can have cucumbers. You can have whatever you like, but have it cut into small pieces. This is a portion control. This is a huge. This picture shows a huge container with. This is way too big. You need to have a small cup container, and that's okay size, but it's grapes and some cheese. So you see the cheese is already cut into small pieces. This is what we mean by portion control. So don't forget, folks, use this trick, use this theory of you are here when you're feeling okay, where everything is perfect, but you need to then just expect that changing your energy, and that's when you know I gotta eat. And then you're gonna eat a snack. You're not gonna eat that 700 calorie meal. You're gonna eat a snack, but the most important is you need to eat what you like. That's the most important thing. And then you will feel satiated. If you don't eat what you like, you're not gonna be satiated. You can eat a ton of things that you don't like, and what's your brain gonna say? Well, it's like, okay, let's go eat what I like now. That's exactly what's going to happen. So you want to go from early hunger to satiated. This only happens when you choose what you like, and that is why the most important thing is for you to know who you are. And you know who you are. Remember, you go to the mall today, you're gonna go through the aisles, and you're gonna list. You know, I like this, but I never eat it. Oh, I forgot. Okay, next, continue. Do I like this? You make a list of all of them, and then you grade them. Give this a 2, a 3, and okay. And this gives you the list of things that you're gonna make your future portion control things from. Okay. Alright folks, that's it for today. I want to wish you all a very good day, and thank you for liking these videos and sharing it. Okay, this is Dr. Fabio Font, a weight loss family physician here in South Shore of Montreal, and I'll be glad to see those of you that are interested in actually seeing a physician for weight loss. Weight loss, obesity medicine is actually a very complex thing. It's really not seen the same way, the way we approach it than in medicine, than is approached by other professionals, and that is because the in-depth studies that have taken place and the education in regards to obesity medicine is quite vast. There's actually a lot of information that we don't even get in normal family medicine residence. And I have found that it's actually become a passion for me. It's very interesting, and I want to invite those of you that are that are taking this quite seriously, that have tried and failed several times. There are sometimes ongoing problems that we have not diagnosed, and so people, they're trying to lose weight, and it actually just never gets to where they want. They don't eat that much, but they keep on putting weight. So things can be complex. We can help you breaking things down, analyzing them. That's what we get trained for. That's what we, anyways, this is why I created this Centre Médical Font, and here in the South Shore of Montreal in La Prairie. So I welcome you all to come see us. You can come meditate with us. We have our weight loss program includes physical personal trainers, nutritionists. We're currently looking for some psychologists as well that have some experience in chronic pain and obesity medicine. And we also do meditation. I do the fat loss bingo. I do it with you people here on Saturdays, where you have your own. Besides, folks, fat loss bingo, which we've talked about, is about 15%. It's really 10 to 15% of the actual 200-page book, which kind of resembles one of the other. I mean, I've done several videos now, but one of the things you need to do is the goal setting. Goal setting is extremely important, and I invite you to come do it over with me here, because you will see that there's a lot of details which are basically like tips and tricks in order to lose weight, and you need to, when you do goal settings in the behavioral therapy, you need to actually have somebody to sign it with you. I mean, this is actually done seriously, and you will see. We will actually continue to break down all these things throughout the next few months, and we will eventually put it all online. So if you don't want to come here, you can still do it from your home, watching these videos, and you can still get the benefit of having a strong structure for your life. That will be the absolute most important thing. You have the strong structure for your life, then you can live the life that you want, really being it, what you really like deep down inside, and then everything is like you're a superstar. Everything just shines greatness to you, because you've done absolutely the best thing you could do for yourself. So this is far more important to me than weight loss. It's not just about weight loss. It really is about building the perfect structure for a healthy life, for a good life, that you're happy living, and that's what I think is unique about our program. But anyways, I'll explain some more about that in the future. It's about the integration of all these things using science, and then we get to the goal of harmonious living, which I think is the word that Fat Loss Bingo. I mean, Fat Loss Bingo has that goal: is for you to live a harmonious life. Even if you have excess in weight, you'll be a happy person. That to me is far more important than anything else. But you will see it. You don't need to have extra weight to feel happy, and that is the next goal for all of us. And I wish you all a very good day. And remember, drink some green tea. Green tea. This is, by the way, this is green tea, folks. This is green tea tropical from Mighty Tea Leaf. Quite tasty. All right. Have a good day, folks.